Hi, my name is Jesus San Miguel. I am on Team 7 and we will be presenting the Volkswagen emission scandal. In September 2015, the EPA had announced that they had discovered that Volkswagen vehicles sold in the United States in fact had a defeat device installed in them. What that meant was that these cars could tell that they were being tested for emissions, and in turn, uh, they would run below their normal performance, meaning their carbon output would be less, showing that the cars were environmentally friendly. However, since this announcement, Volkswagen had admitted that they did in fact put this defeat device in their cars, and since 2015, from September 2015, they estimated roughly 500,000 cars in the United States. And overall, since this investigation, Porsche and Audi have also been included in this report that these cars with diesel engines, in fact, have had this device as well, and which raises the total amount to 85,000 cars in the United States.
Hello, my name is Maria, and I'll be discussing what led up to the discovery. International Council on Clean Transportation hired researchers from West Virginia University to test out diesel model cars, and they reported to EPA. The Council on Clean Transportation is a non-profit, so basically they don't really work for anybody. Volkswagen had touted its cars as diesel powered, more fuel efficient, and good, and they have good mileage, better than a normal gas powered cars. They tested three cars. Two of them were Volkswagen Passat and Jetta, and the third one was BMW X5. The X5 performed satisfactory, but Passat and Jetta showed that they were not up to code. What the researchers found that the cars were emitting about 40 times more than the allowed amount of nitrogen oxide in the air. And EPA concluded that in order to pass the EPA standard test, Volkswagen must have been cheating, and they were found to be using defeat devices. Defeat devices work by sending a signal when they're being tested to like perform perfectly, but when they get to the road condition, they perform like normal diesel power cars. They were emitting dangerous fumes in the air. What action did Volkswagen take after being found out on cheating? Well, at first they denied all the claims, saying that their cars were polluting the air. But after going back and forth with the researchers and EPA, they finally admitted to having defeat devices on their cars. And in response, Volkswagen is now offering about $1,000 in gift cards to, and they have offered it to about 120,000 owners, and 24-hour roadside assistance for 3 years. EPA is going to charge, or it has charged the company with violation of Clean Act, and the company could face $18 billion in fine.
The public's reaction to the Volkswagen scandal involved many disgruntled customers bashing the company on social media. This included sites such as Facebook and Twitter. Mainstream press also had a field day as they slammed the company's name. Surprisingly, after the scandal, Volkswagen sales increased around 6% in the United States. It was reported that after the scandal that the shares of Volkswagen had plunged nearly 30%. It was also reported that the stock was more than 50% below the 52-week highs that it had hit in March. In September, the stock price fell from around $160 to roughly $96. A big question after this scandal was, can we trust Volkswagen? No, we cannot trust Volkswagen. Volkswagen has lost its trust with the public and has caused many to question car safety standards. In Volkswagen's action plan, Volkswagen and the other group brands whose vehicles were affected plan to present the technical solutions and measures to the responsible authorities. All customers with vehicles that are affected will be kept informed. All group brands that are affected will set up national websites to update customers on any development. This action plan is expected to apply to 11 million cars worldwide. They plan to set aside 6.5 billion euros, which is about $7.3 billion, to cover the cost of servicing the affected vehicles.
This is Anyekeme Mbong from Business Communication 3350, Group 7. I will be discussing the long-term and short-term effects caused by Volkswagen's cheating scandals. One of the long-term effects is that United States will toughen their test policies on cars distributed in the country by requiring automakers to confirm its lab result with real-world as well as on-road testing. The agency has already announced this change and expect to enforce it as soon as possible. In addition, the Volkswagen scandal could also affect other major automakers such as Ford, Hyundai, and Kia, who will now have to change its method of testing and comply with the new procedure. Immediately after the discovery, the company's stock has begun to crumble at a rate of as low as 20%, which may become worse in the upcoming month. The company's share dropped from 169 to 106 in a period of a week. This has most certainly created an anxious and unsettling feeling for its consumers and shareholders who now have to eat their depreciation costs to their shares and products.
Since 2009, Volkswagen has helped increase the air pollution in our environment. Approximately 500,000 of the 2.0-liter four-cylinder diesel engines that they produce were using this system. Statistics show that 1,300 tons of nitrogen oxide emissions causes one death. Volkswagen currently represents about 1%, maybe a little bit less, of total vehicles in the United States. Therefore, it wouldn't have that big of an impact in our country. But in places like Europe, that Volkswagen vehicles are driven a lot more and they represent a higher percentage of total vehicles than they do in the United States. The percentage is much higher. So it has a bigger effect in their environment. Below, I placed a chart showing the measurements of two of the Volkswagen vehicles, the Jetta and the Passat, showing what they were measuring when they were being tested and what the limit really was. As you can see, the actual measurements were much higher than the limit. For our conclusion, I want to bring up how 500,000 vehicles were recalled for violating the EPA standards by using the software, and all these diesel vehicles defined as defeat device. Volkswagen does another issue currently Volkswagen has is they do not have a specific date or time when they will have a remedy to fix this whole issue. At the moment, they're just offering clients packages and vouchers for money that they could use at the dealership and offering certain models of vehicles a chance to fix the issue. The good thing is that the vehicles do not represent any safety hazards, so they could be driven on a daily basis. The client doesn't have to worry about their safety. A few suggestions we have for Volkswagen is they need to maintain and regain the client's trust. I'm sure many clients feel that they were fooled by the company because of them violating the EPA standards and basically advertising something that was not true. They need to monitor all the systems installed in their vehicles a lot better to where they won't have any more surprises such as this one. When the whole scandal came out, the CEO of the company said that it was only a handful of employees that were responsible for the installation of this system in those vehicles. Therefore, we think they should monitor better to where they won't be surprised with another issue such as this one. And they should continue offering those packages to all those clients that currently own a vehicle with one of these so-called defeat devices.